to Discover the Bounty. Chef Shayna here at Tuesday's River Park Farmers Market, and today we're discovering the true gem of the fruit world, Asian pears. These beauties, sometimes known as apple pears, combine the crisp, juicy crunch of an apple with the delicate sweetness of a pear. They're loved in kitchens around the world for their refreshing flavor and incredible versatility. Earlier, we were at the farm learning how Asian pears are grown. Let's go check it out. Today on Discover the Bounty, we're in Dinuba, California at G Farms. I'm with Peter DeYoung of the California Fresh Farmers Market Association, learning about growing Asian pears. So Pete, tell us a little bit about growing Asian pears in California.
Well, you know, Asian pears, like so many other different specialty varieties, grow extremely well in California.
And why is that?
Well, it's about a combination of things. It's the ground, the nutrients, the soil. It's about the humidity and lack thereof. A very cold winter to set the trees and get them ready to produce fruit. Abundant sunshine and water coming down from the Sierra. Those things all come together to make us really the fruit basket of the world.
Okay, and when do we harvest pears here in California?
Pears are harvested, especially Asian pears, are harvested midsummer to very late in the fall, maybe even into winter. They'll go sometimes into December, depending upon the exposure of the acreage that's being planted.
Okay, and pears have one harvest a year?
Generally, a couple of times. They want to get the fruit size up to what their customers are looking for, but there is a point where they will harvest very quickly after the first harvest, and that is as soon as the sugars hit their maximum, they need to be taken off the tree before they start to rot, and then they can be held in controlled cold storage for 3 or 4 months.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for your time and teaching us about pears. We're gonna head back to the farmer's market, pick up some pears so we can make a couple of delicious recipes. Hi there, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. I am looking for Asian pears to make in a couple of recipes, and it looks like you have beautiful.
Yes, they're delicious. These are our Asian pears right here. They're very juicy, they're sweet, but not too sweet, and they're also not bitter. So it's just like the perfect, I don't know, perfect flavor right now.
Yes, and I noticed they look a little bit more like an apple than a traditional pear. They don't have the point on the top.
They're not, yeah, they're a different kind of pear. Yeah, they're more like an apple. So I tell people maybe instead of eating an apple, eat an Asian pear, because it's very tasty and very flavorful.
Okay, are there recipes that you like making with?
Usually no, on those on salad or just by themselves. Instead of eating an apple every day, then I'll just take an Asian pear and eat that instead, because it's very juicy, very, very juicy.
Okay, and when are Asian pears harvested?
They're from November all the way through January, but they don't ripen until now. And this is the prime season for Asian pears.
Okay, and once I buy it from the market and take it home, what's the best way to store it?
You can store it in the fridge, because in the fridge they last up to 9 months.
Wow.
So up to 9 months. If you leave it out on the counter, even a month. So
a month.
They last a long time. They won't go bad.
Okay.
And like I said, they're very tasty.
So should I wait to wash them until I'm ready to eat them?
Yes, wait to wash them, because or else you're getting some water and it's going to make it ripen faster.
Sure.
So just wait till you're going to use them or cook them or whatnot.
Okay, well these look beautiful. I cannot wait to get them into the kitchen and try some recipes.
Yes, you have to let me know when it comes out.
I will. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Well, now that I've picked out some beautiful pears, let's head back to the kitchen and start cooking. Welcome back to another episode of Discover the Bounty here at Tuesday River Park Farmers Market. Today, we're celebrating one of the most unique and delicious fruits, Asian pears. They're sometimes called apple pears because of their crisp texture and sweet, juicy flavor. They're a perfect balance of refreshingly light and satisfyingly crunchy, making them a favorite in both savory and sweet dishes. Nutritionally, Asian pears are a powerhouse of hydration, as they're mostly water but packed with goodness. They're a great source of fiber, vitamin C, and support heart health. Plus, they're naturally sweet but low in calories, so you can enjoy them guilt-free. Whether you slice them raw and add them to a salad for some extra crunch, or pair them with cheeses and nuts for an elegant appetizer, Asian pears are absolutely delicious. Are you ready to discover some amazing ways to use this crisp and flavorful fruit? Let's get cooking. So we're cooking with Asian pears, and actually we're gonna do a pretty simple appetizer. Pears are great for preparing a quick and easy appetizer with the holidays coming up. It's good to have some tricks up your sleeve if you have to bring a dish to somebody's house. So gonna share one. It's a pear carpaccio, and carpaccio is usually made with raw meat, right, and sliced very thin, layered with some yummy ingredients and eaten. But the trend these days has been to make it with fruit or veggies and slice them really thin and make a presentation. So that's what we're gonna do. Tonight, of course, we're going to use our Asian pear. The great thing about Asian pears, and sometimes they are even larger, is that they're circular, so they make a great kind of holder for all the ingredients that we're going to put them on. So we are just going to slice this into big circles, and you want to cut it very thin, maybe not this thin, but thin nonetheless. You could use a mandolin. I have sworn them off ever since doing a cooking competition show and slicing off the top two fingers with mandolin. So I prefer my trusted chef's knife to do it. And just take your time and cut it down. We will remove the seeds from the center here in a second. And you want to maybe cut 1 or 2 pears depending on how large of a platter you're making. And I like to compile this right onto a large platter, or today we're actually going to be using this cutting board here, kind of a charcuterie board, if you will. And this would pair nicely if you did decide to bring a charcuterie board to your holiday festivities. It would go very nicely with it. The other thing I really love to do with pears is simply cut them into wedges, add in some blue cheese or goat cheese, wrap it with prosciutto, and put those on a platter as well. So again, lots of things you could do with pears. They're also great in paninis. Put in a little bit of mozzarella or brie cheese with honey, and it makes a nice dish as well. Okay, so again, this could be a big platter. We're going to use a cutting board today, and we're going to just lay these out like such. If you do see the seeds, go ahead and remove those. You don't want to serve, that's not the crunch we're looking for your dish today. Any questions so far while we're preparing? Quiet.
Would you recommend just punching out the whole center?
You could punch the center as well if you had a core to use, yeah. Going with what I got today. Don't have that up here.
Is there another fruit that would pair well with it?
To layer on top or to do instead?
Layer on top.
I actually am going to layer on some pomegranate arils at the top. I love the color of them and the bit of the crunch that they provide as well. Actually, we're going to go with this for today. So we have our pear. Then we are going to drizzle on just a little bit of honey. This will add just a little bit more sweetness. As you know, Asian pears have a little bit of sweet flavor to them already, but this will help all the rest of the ingredients stick nicely to the pears as well. I like to make sure I have a piece of prosciutto on each pear slice. So we'll go ahead and do that. Kind of like pear nachos is what my daughter said when I made them and had them try it out. So go ahead and put this. And it's relatively easy to create, but again, you can make it look very ornate and festive. For a little bit of green, we're going to add arugula. The freshness of the arugula tastes really nice with the sweetness. Yeah, that pepper. Yeah. Exactly. We'll add those on. Then we are going to chop up just a little bit of pistachios. You could use walnuts here, pecans. We grow a lot of pistachios here in the Central Valley, so enjoy adding those onto this dish as well. These are unsalted, but you could go ahead and use roasted salted pistachios. Whatever you have in your pantry is great. We'll go ahead and sprinkle those on top. And again, any cheese is great to use. You could use blue cheese, you could use goat cheese. Today I'm going to grate a little bit of Parmesan to add onto the top. We'll go ahead and make those slices. We'll add that onto the top. And again, I kind of like to make sure that everybody, when they pick up their Carpaccio slice, they get a bite of everything. And then go ahead and do a little bit of a balsamic glaze. Adds another element and pretty color to it. And then a pomegranate. So actually last time we did a class all about pomegranates, so we're gonna add a nice pomegranate. It just makes me think of the holidays. It adds a beautiful bit of color. So the best way to cut a pomegranate, I'm sure you've seen TikTok videos or Instagram where you like shake them or juggle with them, put them in water, all the things. I learned straight from the farmer, the best way to do it is you actually cut off the crown. So this would be that beautiful royal pomegranate crown. I'm gonna go ahead and cut that right off from the top. You know this one's gonna be very juicy because it's sucked in. So when it's sucked in means it's filled with a lot of juices. Then there's little membranes. So you kind of slice down the membranes. And I'm gonna do this over the trash can. That's not too juicy. Yeah. So just slice it down. A paring knife would be good to use here. And then you can go to Thanksgiving with nice purple hands. But if you bring the dish, then you have an excuse, right? So we scored it along those edges, and you should be able to just open it right up, and then it's almost like an orange where the pieces are ready to go. Just kind of come right out for you. So I'm going to sprinkle on just a little bit of the pomegranate onto our little Carpaccio here, and again, just for added color. And this is an extra step. You don't have to do it if you, like, no, I don't want the mess. Don't feel like you need to. I just find it very fun and festive. So there, we have it. Yeah, just a pop of color. And then of course, if you made a whole platter of it and you had maybe some sprigs of rosemary or any other herbs that you might have in your garden, you can add to it, and it just creates a fun platter that you can bring to somebody's house. Any questions? Pretty simple, right? Yeah. Awesome. You can recreate it at home pretty easily. All right, would you guys like to try it? Just give you each a little piece of it, if that's cool. There we go. And this is definitely an appetizer where you could kind of pick it up like and make a taco out of it. I'm giving you permission to use your hands, in other words. If you want to cut it, slice it, you're more than welcome to. There you are. You got it. All right. Again, just a fun way to serve it as an appetizer. Pears are wonderful just to eat fresh by themselves, and you could turn this whole thing into a panini if you wanted to. Get some nice ciabatta bread, slice it open, put it all in, and grill it. It would be tasty. All right, bon appetit. Go ahead and enjoy. Thank you guys for cooking with me.
Can we take a slice of cheese? I took his. He was very upset.
Yes, of course. Grate you a fresh one. How dare you take his cheese?
I know. Thank
There you are. Of course. All right. So quiet. I had a blast cooking with you today and exploring new tasty flavors from the farmers market. Farmers markets are such a wonderful place to find fresh, locally grown veggies and try out new recipes with them. See you next time for another fun cooking adventure.